Hi everyone, I'm going to continue the series of the famous Oriental Rabbanim, and this Shabbat it is going to be the Hilula of a very, very great Rabbi, actually arguably one of the most powerful Torah outreach speakers in the last 100 years. His name was Rabbi Nissim Yagen. He was actually born in Jerusalem and spent a long time also in America, became one of the great rabbis of America in the 20th century, towards the 20th century, and passed away in the year 2000, which was his Hilula, is on Yud Dalet Sivan, naturally this Shabbat. And he was a huge outreach speaker that probably inspired more than 1 million people at least across the world. People read his books, they're translated in many languages, and so many copies are being sold all over the world, or distributed. So many people have been inspired from him. So he was born back in the year 1941 on the 2nd of November in that year. His parents was Ya'akov and also Rachel, very great people, and they were actually of a Turkish origin. The origin country of them was from Turkey, from an area called Gagin over there. I've spoken about the great different Turkish rabbis also, so he was of a Turkish caliber also, which is very interesting. And he was born in Yerushalayim, in Jerusalem, and went obviously naturally to learn the Torah at a young age. But he was become mitchazek. He said in one of his shiurim that he was training at one stage in his youth to become a pilot. He was very much a very people's person, but then went to study in yeshiva, in the elite yeshivot of America, of yeshivat in Lakewood. Very top yeshiva over there. He spent 5 years learning over there, and then he went back to Yerushalayim and learned in the Yeshivat Mir, the famous Yeshivat Mir. Spent a long time there under the great Rabbi, Rabbi Chaim Shmulevitz over there. Very much one of the great rabbis also of the past century. He got married. His wife was Rabbanit Sultana Odet, and they had 11 children together. Very large family also. And he was in Jerusalem. He was a rabbi that traveled all over the world. He himself said that each year, especially towards the end of his years, he was giving hundreds of shiurim each year all over the world. He was a real people's person and a real Kiruv, powerful outreach speaker over there, worldwide acclamation, and one of the great Rabbanim over there. He taught in various yeshivot in Israel. I'll name a few of them. For example, the Or Baruch Yeshiva, the very famous Or Baruch Yeshiva. There was also Yeshivat Ohel Moed, which many great Rabbanim, Sephardi Rabbanim especially, taught over there, and I've mentioned in previous videos of the previous great Chachamim also. He also established a yeshiva in an area in Israel called Givat Ada also. This is along with all the hundreds and thousands of speeches he was giving all throughout his lifetime. And in the year 1978, we're talking 45 years ago, he established a famous Kowel, massive Kowel, called the Kowel Kehillat Ya'akov, which his son Chacham Meir Yagen at the moment is the Rosh Yeshiva of. And as I said before, he lectured in hundreds of places each year. He worked for a famous Kiruv organization, which is still thriving and running in Israel, inspiring millions of people. A Kiruv organization called Arachim, naturally, and they spoke throughout the year in so many places of that. Very was the top speaker in Israel within regards to that. In the 14th of Sivan, back in the year 2000, in the new millennium, he passed away. It's his 23rd yard site, his 23rd Hilula. This Shabbat is going to be over there. And left 11 children. As I stated before, his son Rabbi Meir Yagen is currently the Rosh Yeshiva of Kehillat Ya'akov of the Kowel. And at the moment, there's so many books being sold within regards to him, being taught within regards to his famous and incredible teachings. For example, there is the famous book, the Netiv Or, which is translated into many languages, especially in Russian. Also, there is in Hebrew, there's in English. You can see editions all over wherever you go inside the shops. I think also in French, possibly also in Spanish, and many other books. There's also the book. That book is a famous book which is concentrating Musar and Chizuk, strengthening people with their Avodat Hashem and with their Torah learning and their mitzvot observance. Another book is the Moadim. Another book is a Chayim Shel Torah also. Another one is a Kocha Shel Shabbat. And there were many other books. And there's pamphlets. He's got online, I believe, hundreds and hundreds of cassettes tapes of Shurei Torah. There's a lot in English also, because naturally he gave a lot in England in English. He used to travel America, he used to travel all over the world and inspired so many people with regards to Torah mitzvot. He was a powerful speaker also. He didn't sugarcoat the Torah necessarily. He inspired so many people. He spoke the truth. He was one of these real Kiruv teachers that had a love for all of Am Yisrael, whoever the person was, whichever background was. He also said in one of his tapes, which I listened to just this morning, that when and a lot of times he wouldn't necessarily prepare what he would say. He knew he wanted to see the audience, and he would say over what they needed to hear, those people. He very much had that gift also on top of it. And it's his Hilula this week. Maybe we light neshamot, maybe we light candles in memory of him. His neshama is protecting all of him, Yisrael, of all of us nowadays. And Baruch Hashem, we've got now we're living in a generation where there's a lot of outreach going on, a lot of Torah going on. I very much recommend to search him online and listen to all his great Torah teachings, and buy his books, read his books, and spread it, and share all the videos you can find of him and learn about him. It's one of the most incredible, powerful speakers, and one of the greatest tzaddikim, and one of the greatest rabbonim coming from the country Turkey, especially in the last generation. Guys, I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. Please look over all the other videos I've done of the great Oriental rabbonim. I believe this is close to the 60th video, and it is Yahrzeit on Shabbat Yud Daled Sivan. Shabbat Shalom, guys, and take care.